everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review, and today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Marvel Legends Captain America Series 6-inch Iron Skull figure from Hasbro. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style packaging we've been seeing with all the Marvel Legends. You've got the black box, blue highlights with this one. You've got the figure clearly displayed, the Legend Series logo up at the top, and the name Captain America and Iron Skull down below. Then on the side we've got some artwork, and then on the back we have a look at the actual figure, a brief bio in multiple languages, and then down below a look at all the figures in the wave that you need to get in order to complete the Abomination Build-A-Figure. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging along with the other contents. So first of all, we get the left leg for the Abomination Build-A-Figure with this one. Now we'll be taking a look at the Abomination in its own video review probably later this week, so be sure to check back for that. And then we get two different head sculpts with this figure. So the head that's attached to the figure when you take it out of the packaging is a regular Red Skull head. And this is actually, I think, probably the nicest thing about this figure. It's one of the nicest Red Skull heads for a 6-inch scale figure I've seen from either Hasbro or Toy Biz, and I really like the paint applications on it. You've got the red, and then you've got some wash work in there with some darker colors, so it really brings out the detail of the skull. So this is definitely the best Red Skull head I think Hasbro's done, and even better than the ones that Toy Biz gave us. So like I said, I think this is probably the best thing about this figure is this head sculpt. Now the second head we get, and to switch it out you just pop it off like you always do, and the head's attached with a ball hinge joint, and then you pop on the other head. And the second head is basically a painted Iron Man head, so to make with the Red Skull's face on it. So this would be like the helmet that he wears with this armor. So this whole concept of this figure, I believe, is based on the Disney XD animated series Avengers Assemble. I believe that's what this first appeared in, and the only thing this has appeared in. If this has appeared in the comics, if the Red Skull in this armor has appeared in the comics, I'm not familiar with it, but definitely he appeared in the armor. He had stolen one of Tony Stark's armors and made this Red Skull like armor in the cartoon, and I believe that's what they're basing this figure on. But I don't actually remember him wearing a helmet with that. I could be wrong, but I don't really recall it off the top of my head. It is kind of cool though. Almost looks like something the Punisher would wear if it were white, but definitely it's kind of cool and a nice addition for a second head. So the figure itself, if it looks familiar to you, is just a repaint of the Iron Man movie. Originally we saw it in the Iron Man 3, and then again for Age of Ultron. So it's just a repaint of that Iron Man movie figure, the Mark 42 and 43 armors that Hasbro gave us. So exact repaint, and then this armored head even is just a repaint of the Iron Man head. So, you know, no difference other than just the paint scheme on this figure. So for the paint scheme, we've just got basically it's all black with this red trim throughout the figure, and then on the unibeam or arc reactor you've got this little skull painted on with black and a cream color. So this figure stands about 6.5 inches tall, same height as the Iron Man figure. And then here's a comparison with the Iron Skull and the other 6-inch Marvel Legends Red Skull figures we've gotten over the years. So these two are Toy Biz Red Skull figures. This is the Winter Soldier Red Skull figure, and then the Red Onslaught Red Skull figure. And again, I think the Red Skull head sculpt with this new Iron Skull is the nicest of all of these. And in case you're wondering, you can take the regular Red Skull head from this Iron Skull figure and put it on your Winter Soldier Red Skull figure if you want to. So articulation on this figure is exactly the same as those Iron Man movie figures, but I'll go over it real quick. Head's on a ball hinge joint, so he can look left and he can look right, and he can look down pretty good, and he can look back pretty decently as well. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder. Now he's got those little shoulder pads which have a little movement to it, but not too much. You want to be careful because you can snap those off. He can get his arm out good. Really can't rotate his arm though because of those shoulder pads. Has a bicep swivel, has a double hinged elbow, so good bending there at the elbow. Has swivels at the wrist. Has hinges on the hands, so you can do the hands down, but because of these little pads on it, these little armor pieces that go over top of the hands, over the wrists, you can't really do the hands up. You've got a midsection joint, so you've got rotation there. Can crunch down a little bit, but not a whole lot. Can look back a bit there. Can also kind of pivot to the left and the right there. no waist swivel, legs are attached with ball joints, can do the splits good, can get his leg forward about that much. If you turn it, you can get it up more, and then you can do the leg back only about that much. Does have a thigh swivel very high up, double jointed knee, so good bending at the knee, and then has the hinges on the feet, so good up and down movement, or at least good down movement, not so much an up because of the way the sculpting is. And then it does have ankle pivot and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So honestly, I can't say that I've ever sat around going, gosh, I wish Hasbro would make a figure of the Red Skull, Iron Skull as we see in the cartoon. That being said though, I do think this figure actually comes out looking pretty nice. Yes, it's just a repaint of the Iron Man movie figure, but I really like the black with the red trim. I think it's a nice look. And the thing I like the most about this figure is that non-helmeted Red Skull head sculpt that they give with this. I think it's the nicest Red Skull head sculpt we've seen with any of the 6-inch figures, either from Toy Biz or Hasbro. And if you don't like the fact that, you know, Red Skull is wearing one of Iron Man's armors, you can take that head sculpt and stick it on your Winter Soldier figure, and it looks pretty good on that one as well. So the figure with the wave with this figure has not yet hit shelves here in the United States. It should soon, either later this month or sometime next month in August. We'll have a full gallery of images up at marvelousnews.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook and or Twitter pages. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.